Good afternoon. This is Chris Greenwood with 400K First. I was here just a couple of days ago shooting my video for the launch of my book, Beguiled, Why LGBT Choices Are Leading to Shorter Term Lifespans Affecting 70 Million Students, and How a Teenage Ideology Took Over American Public Schools. So today's video, I want to talk about Chapter 8. It's at the end of Chapter 8. I kind of get into what's happened here and why are people so afraid to speak out about the LGBT. What I covered a couple days ago on the book launch was that what we found out is that we've got 3 universities that reported that there's 2 identities within the LGBT frame that are experiencing higher mortality rates. One of them is 1 in 5, 20%. The other one's almost 40%. It's 37%. And it's a pretty serious issue. So one of the things, the other thing is that we've had a doubling and tripling of people selecting LGBT identities from 2012 to 2025. And my thesis is, and one of my editors helped me figure this out, is that basically in just 7 to 10 years, we're looking at what could be the witnessing the last generation of straight heterosexual students. Because between now and 2032, which is only 7 years away, if we know that the LGBT numbers tripled in 7 years and then doubled then tripled, there's a very good likelihood they'll do the same thing, and that by 2032 we could be easily looking at 50%. That's basically 1 of every 2 people is LGBT. By 2035 we could be looking at 70%. And at that point in time, if a parent is raising a child today in 2025, when their child gets ready to enter the public schools in their 9th or 10th grade, their 4th or 5th grade, they're going to be going into a school that's basically largely LGBT. And as I said last time, nobody, including your parents, the government, and the teachers, are going to have any control over what's going on. Like a brothel, it's just basically uncontrolled, and it's pretty evil. It's sad that we got here. But what I want to talk about today is that why is it that people are afraid to talk about the LGBT? It's because they think that they have class protections, that we can't touch them. The real truth is they only have 2. One is employment, and we all agree with that. You shouldn't be discriminating. The other one is housing. So if you're an HR person with a company, you can't discriminate against LGBT people. And if you're a landlord and you're renting, or a loan mortgage person, you can't discriminate. So those are the 2 special categories. Yet we all walk around on eggshells because the media is blasting us about LGBT. And what they've done is they've framed special class protections around the LGBT that we're afraid to talk to them or speak out against them. And it's unnatural, it's unrealistic that they have 2 categories, housing and employment. So basically, to go back to the feminists that started this with the LGBT in the 60s and 70s, they wanted equality. And then we started to see about 10, 15 years ago, about 2005, I think, or it's 20 years now, we started to see the equal sign. The LGBT was adopting that. But as it turns out, it was never about equality. It was about trying to erase and to wipe any distinction between male and female off the board so they could begin to just have their own identity race that they wanted. And they're achieving that, because what's happening now, if we look at 2032 to 2035, if 70% of the school body, we've got 70 million kids in the schools, that would be approaching 50 to 60 million students are selecting LGBT identities, then basically we are looking at the last generation of straight heterosexual students. And it's why an organization like me, 400K First, that believes, God-given, that the 400,000 kids that were born yesterday deserve a hell of a lot more focus, respect, and responsibility than the small number of LGBT that are taking up a lot of large media time. The other thing about this is that of a lot of the real special needs group, people with muscular dystrophy, those with cerebral palsy, people with cleft palate, Down syndrome, they've been pushed gradually to the background. The LGBT has been spent to the foreground, so they've actually lost resources and media time. And it's my contention we need to do something to restore that, however we figure that. But we need to put back our time and effort and resources on real special needs, not a weaker part of the population that is basically ideologically trying to conquer our society. If anyone sees this and they're in Central America, South America, or Western Europe, or even Eastern Europe, And if you know people, this is what's going to happen in your public schools. If you allow the LGBT in, it's not going to take long with social media. They are going to try to multiply, and they're going to try to overtake the heterosexual population. So we've got to stand up and knock them down. Please visit my website, 400K First. I have a petition that I'm starting, and it's basically we want the president, we want the director of the CDC, we want Dr. Marty McCary, who's the FDA head, we want the HHS, and we want the Department of Education. We want to start a coordinated public service campaign, basically to launch both prevention against these identities that are experiencing higher mortalities, but to educate parents and the schools about what's going on with this, because we didn't anticipate this, yet a lot of us are wise enough to know that something would happen, and now it's happened. So please, if nothing else, come to the website, sign the petition. We want to get this on the president's desk, and part of my phase 1, if this works, is that we want to take all LGBT literature and paraphernalia out of the schools, K through 12. We want the flags, the posters, the themes out. I understand that they're going to get some of this on social media, but they spend 8.5 hours every day, Monday through Friday, in the schools. Let's reduce that. That's not an area where they need to multiply that, and they need to have other adults or paraprofessionals, as you'll read in my book, what I call agency, influencing them. So I hope you're with my cause, heartfelt. I know God's with us, and let's see if we can do it. I think this year is the year. I think that by the spring of 2026, we're going to see some significant policy changes. We're going to start to knock some of this down. You guys have a great day.